Hello, Point Pleasant, and happy Friday. Welcome to another episode of the Ocean Star Sports Show. I'm your host, sports reporter Dominic Polio. And because today is Cinco de Mayo, this episode will be in all Spanish. Just kidding. Don't worry. Not doing that. Too much work. Anyway, it is going to be all softball highlights because I was all about softball this week. We're going to jump right into it with Point Beach softball as it picked up a nice win last Thursday. Check out the highlight. The Point Beach softball team was firing on all cylinders in last Thursday's win over Keyport. The Garnet Gulls' lively bats eventually led to a 9-1 victory over the Red Raiders. After loading the bases in the first inning, it was Rebecca Cairns with an RBI single to shallow center. Then, Katie Bernaro scored for Beach on a passed ball to make it 2-0. Both teams displayed strong defense as the second and third innings went scoreless. Then it was Lauren Knapp who increased Beach's lead with a 2-run single over the second baseman in the fourth inning. Following up was Hannah Nagy with a similar hit in the fifth that drove in another Beach run, making it 5-0. Before the close of the fifth, Abby Angelucci turned on the Jets to beat a throw and a tag on the baseline, and Nagy made her way home for the run. At the end of 5, the Garnet Gulls were up 6-0 and just piled it on in the 6th. That was Kylie Kells with a triple to the left field fence for another run, which Renaro followed up with an RBI single. Then Cairns came up with another RBI for the Gulls. Keyport eventually closed the inning and managed to drive in one run in the 7th. It didn't matter much though, as Angelucci secures the final out of the game to help the Garnet Gulls top Keyport 9-1. Not a bad day at the plate for the Gulls, and strong pitching from Kylie Kells really helped them secure that win. Point Beach went on to beat Asbury Park in a doubleheader and Trinity Hall in big shutout games. Next up, Brick Memorial softball. They hosted Toms River East last Friday. Great game, good highlights. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. It was a tight game between Brick Memorial softball and Toms River East before the Mustangs were able to break away for the 6-2 win. The Raiders scored the first run of the game with their first at-bat, but the Mustangs quickly answered. Tori Lucarelli laid down a bunt to tie the game at 1. And then a ground out to short off the barrel of Alyssa Sculthorpe gave Brick Memorial the lead. With Jordan Pfister throwing strong on the mound, the Mustangs kept the Raiders scoreless in the second and third innings. Brick Memorial scored another run on an overthrow to first, and after 3, the Mustangs were holding a 2-run lead 3-1. The Raiders caught a break in the fourth and also scored on an overthrow to first. Toms River East looked to score more with runners on base, but Pfister fielded a grounder to close the side. In the 5th inning, the Mustangs loaded the bases with no outs put away before the Raiders called in a new pitcher. A grounder back to the pitcher saved a run, but Sculthorpe was back in the box ready to hit. She smacks a hard grounder all the way to the center field fence, clearing the bases on her way to third. The Mustangs' defense prevailed throughout the rest of the game as they continued holding the Raiders at 2. In fitting fashion, it was a grounder to Sculthorpe at third that closed out the 6-2 victory for Brick Memorial. A nice win for the Mustangs there, and much needed for today's sports show, as the final highlight is Brick Memorial softball hosting crosstown rival Brick Township softball Wednesday night. Huge crowd, senior night for the Mustangs, and Brick Township came in and blew it all up. So, here are the highlights from another fantastic crosstown rivalry showdown on the softball field. It was another clash of Brick Titans Wednesday when the Brick Memorial softball team hosted crosstown rival Brick Township under the lights. Again, the game did not disappoint, and again it was the Green Dragons who came up with the victory. The Mustangs crossed home plate first, though, as Carly Luzo lined a double to deep center for the game's first run. Brick Memorial closed the inning with the lead, but it didn't last long. In the second, it was Juliana Forbes with the clutch bat, smacking a double to shallow center to score 2 Dragons and claim the lead. Then Corinne Connolly followed it up with an absolute blast to the right field fence, scoring 2 more for Brick Township. Before the Mustangs closed the side, Connolly then stole home on a passed ball to give the Dragons an early 5-1 lead. But the Mustangs also had a big second inning and responded swiftly. Jordan Rochinski batted in 2 runs with a double to right to pull within 2. Then it was Alia Merso who also hit a double, scoring Rochinski while also notching her 100th career hit. The second inning closed out with the Dragons up 5-4 on the Mustangs, and I wish I could tell you more runs were scored, but that simply wasn't the case. The rest of the game was all defense as the 2 teams battled for more runs. Forbes was a strong glove in right field for Brick Township, snagging this nice grab to close the 4th. The Brick Memorial defense was also on point, keeping the game tight. Both Christine Frazee and Jordan Pfister worked tirelessly from the mound for their team the entire game. In the 7th, the Dragons were looking for insurance runs, but the Mustangs' defense kept them at 5. Brick Memorial fought hard with its last at-bat, but could not produce more runs. Forbes caught the final 2 outs of the game out in right field, and Brick Township completes the season sweep of crosstown rival Brick Memorial with the 5-4 victory. And there you have it, folks. A little bit of offense to start and a whole lot of defense to finish out. Great game from both teams. Those are the only 3 highlights I have for you for this week. Thank you for stopping by and checking out the show. As always, there are more sports in the actual newspaper, so make sure you pick up today's copy of the Ocean Star. That is May 5th, 2017, Cinco de Mayo. In the meantime, you can follow me on Twitter at Dompolio. That's at DOMPOLLIO. Once again, thank you for stopping by and checking out the show. I do it for you. I hope to see you guys again next week. More highlights, something other than softball possibly. We'll see how it goes. For now, signing off for Star News Group, I'm Dominic Polio, wishing you a happy weekend.